Hello everyone, welcome to another No FOMO Charts live stream. Today is Monday, August 2nd, 2021. We're going to go through some stocks and crypto charts today, technical analysis education. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now. So we are in stock earnings Q2 2021. Approximately the third week. We have a lot of earnings coming out this week. So I'm going to do a little bit of stock individual analysis today. And we're going to also do some crypto. Hopefully the internet connection is more stable today. And it would be great. The internet connection is stable. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, if you have a question, please ask away in the chat. Feel free. All right, here we go. I'm going to start with DIA. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Index, the ETF, the tradable ETF. All right, so what happened today? We'll zoom in. All right, we'll zoom in. This is today's candle close. All right, so we opened, attempted rally, bear breakdown, 0.66%, which is decent bear move. Bear's probably happy about that. So let's do the quick analysis. First, the resistance level. Again, there is this resistance up here in this $350 to $351 range. Up here. The temporary ceiling. And then we have a support. I'm going to call it somewhere in this range. 334. Okay, probably here we have multiple touch points. Possibly intermediate support at $338, even right here. So we're playing between these four levels, basically. Yes, there is the trend line, so I'll just draw it so people can see what is happening in the market. Keep in mind, I'm looking at 2020 to date on the chart. So again, an easy way to do this is work backwards. That's not the final line. Some sites have it like this, where it just pierces on the bottom, which is fine. But again, we're playing these four levels. So again, four levels I'm talking about are 352, 347, 338, and 333. Right? And then we're also playing this level of support down here. This trend line in the blue, the diagonal. So this could be an interesting spot, like this 345 range right here. Okay, so the scenarios are, if we bull break up on great earnings for the rest of the 1 or 2 weeks of major earnings season, okay, then I could see this higher high, higher low, higher high, then establishing a higher low somewhere here in the upper 340s, and then trying to break to higher highs over time, and then use this as support like this, because it could be defined as like upward wedge, right? Like that, short-term wedge, okay, based upon the closes, like that. So it makes sense. We would just bounce around in here like this, okay? One higher low into the higher high, okay? Higher low, higher high, as such, right? So definitely possible. All right, so we just watch out for those levels. Although, again, there is that resistance up here at 352, so we want to watch out for that. Okay, so I'll just draw it so we can keep it in mind for next time. All right, moving on. SPY, S&P 500 ETF. Going to go faster today. All right, so there is resistance here at 442. Intermediate short-term support 437, and then there is a significant amount of space of support on the bottom side. 427, 421. All right. Then we'll get a trend line support on the bottom side here, starting from about approximately here. Let's get as many touch points as possible. The candle body closes, except for this one candle, which is fine. We're going for majority bounces here. I'm going to try to close this top side. Get a little bit tighter. All right, so now we can see now we can see, right? It's at the top of this trend line resistance up here, right here. You see that? Because it's higher, high, higher, low, almost basically a high, low, higher, high. So then a higher low, eventually, maybe in August, possibly into September, right? Something like this and like that would make sense. Would make sense. It's just we have to get through earnings season for the next 2 weeks. So again, we have temporary resistance up here at this 442 area, and then we have support in this X marks the spot zone in the blue here, down here at 427, $427. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting to watch what happens, because again, higher high, higher low in the price, higher high, higher low. All right, I'm going to mark this 432 zone. Alrighty. We could also use EMA supports. Okay, yeah, right there, the 50 EMA, right in that $427 zone. Okay, short term, see this 432. It just makes sense. Even without the moving averages, you could still do technical analysis. All right, moving on. QQQ. This is a NASDAQ ETF, and this is from a different class, but these trend lines still hold up. Okay, so in the past, that's why it's good to keep trend lines up, because if I just keep deleting this, it looks like the price right now is floating in the middle of nowhere. It's not though. What happened is it retested this trend line. See that as support. Very interesting. So what we had was we had a larger wedge pattern, right? Ascending wedge pattern. Some might call this a short-term ascending triangle for the past 3 to 4 months. But if we just look at price, okay, trust the price and technical analysis charts. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and it's just trying to break out right here in terms of out of this range. Okay, we did break out of this resistance. You see this in the blue. That's a pattern. Then break out, higher low, higher high. So now it's figuring out, okay, how high can we go here and how low are we going to go for the support level down here? Like this. Okay, so we'll draw some resistance at 369, support 359, support 351. We're playing these 3 levels right now. That's why I like to do resistance, support and resistance, just lock the price in, box it in, and let the market show me exactly what trend and direction we are going to go. Okay, so bull scenario is we're going to continue this uptrend. Hopefully, I mean, tech earnings is mostly over. Okay, we survived tech earnings. I'm going to get into some earnings in a few minutes here. We're finishing up some tech earnings. Then we're getting into kind of like healthcare and some of these ancillary auxiliary companies, like some car companies, vaccine companies, clothing companies, right? So the majority bulk of earnings is like over. So again, high, low, high, low. Are we going to establish a higher low somewhere here at 359? That's a level to play off of. Break out eventually in the next couple months like this. All right, so it's just playing 2 levels. Very simple. Very simple. All right. Okay, next, RUT, Russell 2000 ETF. Again, very similar to yesterday's analysis, but we look at the candles, okay? Candles matter. Okay, so looking here, we had in the past, we had the double top, okay? Fall back down to support level and trying to establish a trend, okay? So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, just very, very inching up. So if this is going to hold, bull scenario would be the target is up here, the middle heart line, 2247. Okay, if it's trying to do just a basic uptrend. All right, so doesn't seem like a lot, but still 1.3%, right? For the hedge funds, that's a lot. 1.3% is a huge move. Okay, but again, it's still range bound. The larger support and resistances are 2129, so 2129, and 2362. So we're playing these 3 levels. So it's just going to remain to be seen in August, okay, in August to September, are we going to remain in uptrend and break through? When are we going to break through the top of this resistance ceiling? That's the question. If it's going to happen. right? If not, if this turns out to be a lower high like this, okay, then I'm expecting it to break down eventually. All right, so it's just, we're just gonna watch it. Are we trending up or trending down? That's the main question. All right. Okay, I'm gonna skip commodities today because we did that yesterday. I'm gonna go right into some stock earnings. So today we had 3 companies, and again, the companies I'm gonna do, these are not the only earnings companies that's happening this week. Okay, these are just brands that I think are a little bit more well known. Okay, that people actually know of. All right, and again, this is not financial advice. This is just education. All right, so let's start with today's earnings, which just happened a few hours ago, about 3 hours ago, 2 to 3 hours ago. Okay, take 2. I'm going to stocks right now. Take 2 earnings, TTWO. All right, so they just had their earnings today. All right, and without even looking at the earnings number exactly, we can get a very quick, all right. All right, there was a surprise, but there was bad news. I might have to bring up the news article for this. All right, so just reading the news for the super quick headlines on this stream. All right, so disappointing sales. They did a surprise EPS. So I'm not going to look at the fundamentals right now. I'm just going to look at technicals, okay, because this is technical analysis. But fundamentals, news, financials are extremely important. But let's look at the chart data, what happened. All right, so after the earnings report or right before it, crashed down about -3%. So moderate move. Moderate move. I have to look at the 4 hours. But ever since, this company has been in a weekly uptrend. Wow. Right, weekly, monthly, pretty significant, very significant. So what I would do here is I would Fibonacci this whole thing. Because if we're talking, almost 20 years of data, right? What is that? 13 years of data. Okay, then we can see a little bit easier that this company Take 2 is finding support on the monthly, the yearly 236, right? This is kind of concerning though. This might not happen, but if this is a head and shoulders, right, on a weekly, this can be head and shoulders, yeah. This is a weekly head and shoulders. This might be bad for this company, all right? If it had disappointing sales, okay, if this is really going to happen, alrighty, then this company's in trouble. This stock's in trouble if this happens. So negative 30%, really bad. That would be really bad. That would take us back down to about the 50% retrace, $115. And then this would be an interesting buying zone for educational purposes, somewhere down here, right in the yellow box. That's where you're getting some discounted value relative to where we are right now. So I'll just leave that there, this head and shoulders pattern, if it happens. But head and shoulders, like we've seen on Bitcoin, it isn't always complete, right? So I just showed you the bear case if it goes down there. But if it's bull case, it might hang out on the support, right? This might retest this 236, this $163 level, okay? And then try to bounce, right? So what we need to see happen on the day is we need to see a trend established, right? But this company needs good fundamental news and earnings report. So the next earnings is going to be in November, right? A little bit disappointing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this company downtrend over time, because it tried to have a double bottom in the price, right? Failed at this resistance level 187, and then it's basically downtrending right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it retest this 162 level on the downside, right? That would be negative 5-6%. But if we end up rallying for some whatever reason, right? High, low, then the next target would be plus 5 minutes, plus or minus 5%. All right, I'm trying to go a lot faster today. Okay, next company, Columbia Sportswear. Even I bought some Columbia Sportswear clothing in my lifetime, so I feel like people who understand outdoor clothing, might be interesting company. It's related to retail, related to travel. That's why I picked this company. So we're on the day chart, Columbia Sportswear. So what I like to do is, again, start off with a long-term perspective. So let's do from the coronavirus crash, get some support resistance level like Fibonacci from bottom to top. Then we know it's been uptrending basically. A little bit of problem in the end of 2019 to now. Let's see what the earnings report was. This is very preliminary. Wow. So that earnings surprise, positive earnings surprise. So Columbia Sportswear up 9% plus in the post market. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right. So if they have a positive earnings report, then we start looking at resistances on the top side. All right. So basically, Columbia Sportswear is not at the bottom, but there is some potential bullish reversal signals up here. But the 4-hour, as a swing trader, it's a little bit overbought, but we might be able to see a trend reversal is what I'm saying. Okay, so I don't trade the actual earnings itself, like the earnings release, because that's a form of day trading to me. What I like to see is after a positive or negative earnings release, will we uptrend or will we downtrend? That is the question. That is the question, right? So let's get some basic support and resistance. There's a giant gap support here, which is holding pretty strong. Right here into the next earnings. So I'm going to box this in. We're going to box this price in right here. Stuck between these two levels right there. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Columbia over time possibly rally 10% up to the top here. This could be a very interesting trade, but it's not 100%, right? Yeah, even right here. We're gathering evidence. Make a case, right? Yeah. So if this is true, I mean, there's gap support, there's double support here. There's gap support and there's trendline support. So right at the X marks the spot with a positive earnings, right? This is interesting. This is going to go on my watch list, personally. It could be a 10% to a 20% rally over the next couple months. Very interesting. So I'm just going to leave this here. If we make a hypothetical long position, let's say we went long today at 101.30, and our target would be 10%. Our stop loss would be under the low of this candle. So we have to go for approximately, this is a very long-term investment, so let's go for a 2-to-1 trade. I'm going to lock this in here, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay? I'll lock this in here. So, but I need to mark this X marks the spot. So this is our target, first target, and our second target would be somewhere along this trend line. Okie dokie. So that's Columbia Sportswear. Moving on to Gaia Inc. Gaia Inc., the media health, the yoga media health company. Pseudoscience and yoga TV. Interesting. On the monthly chart, Gaia did have, GAIA did have a upside down head and shoulders. Very interesting to play out, but we're on the left side of this, on the right side of this upside down head and shoulders. If this is true, I mean, it's like 150% from the breakout, which this already happened though, right here. You see this mini one inside here? See 150%? It already happened and came down. So now we're looking at the larger term possible upside down head and shoulders. But it's not 100%, right? I mean, this thing could rally another 100% to the top of $30. It kind of has to become a meme stock, in my opinion. But it'll be very interesting to see this. It's just finding support. It might not be upside down head and shoulders, so we could just say it's finding support and the resistance levels up here. So this would be a safer analysis in terms of just getting support and resistance levels up. Get a basic trend line going on the bottom side. It's a little cleaner, at least 2 touch points. And we could do this. right? So now this is making more sense. All right, this is making more sense now in the fact that it's kind of like Bitcoin in a sense. If this is a monthly, it's like, all right, if it rallied to the top here and we come back down and it's already up almost 100% since March, right? If they have good earnings, let's say, do they have good earnings? The EPS was good, but let's see what other headlines are there. Okay, so they just barely beat their earnings. All right, so there just needs to be hype. There needs to be hype on this stock to really, really get it to the top of the symmetrical triangle, the monthly symmetrical triangle, or the weekly symmetrical triangle. Okay, so this is not the greatest. This is not the greatest spot to buy hypothetically because you're in the middle of the symmetrical triangle. It's plus or minus 40-30%. Right, but let's just pretend we go long hypothetical right at this spot, right? So if the target is 40% on the upside, then you have to have a very, very large stop loss, right? Maybe even a 25% stop loss, right? So this would be like, if I was trading this, I would put a small amount of money. I would not go all in. No all in. But you could put a small amount of money to try to capture 40% move on whatever your small amount of capital is per trade, right? So it's like maybe I'll put like 5%, 10% or something like that, all right? So those are the three companies that reported earnings today, and we're going to see what's going to happen. We'll do a couple that's happening tomorrow, okay? And then we're going to switch over to crypto because my internet was crashing yesterday. So let's start with tomorrow. So tomorrow's earnings, Tuesday, August 3rd, okay, we have a good mix here. Maybe half before market open earnings and half after market earnings. But the one I'm going to watch very closely because of the news is Activision Blizzard, okay, because of their the negative lawsuit, you know, from the California government agency versus Activision Blizzard Corporation. There was no initial stock reaction that much compared to, it might have just happened. There was a reaction to it, right? Negative 10% on the negative lawsuit. But it's going to be interesting to see if the price for Activision continues to downtrend, right? At some point, it's going to bottom out, right? And they have earnings tomorrow. So that's why I think traders and investors were kind of really waiting for earnings tomorrow. It's going to be interesting because when a company like this has a major lawsuit and drama, and then we're going right into earnings, there's risk, significant risk, right? Okay, so let's get some monthly Fibonacci levels up. We could do all time, or we could just do from the bottom of this. I'm just going to do from the bottom of this. Okay, maybe we could try both. Let's see. We Fibonacci this entire thing. Yeah. So it looks like the target could be the 236 Fibonacci level. Yeah, make sure I get accurate numbers here. Magnet stick to the bottom. Man, Activision at 50 cents? No. When was like 2000? 50 cent Activision? That's ridiculous. Oh, that's like Bitcoin. We're an investment. All right, so interesting. Yeah, right, hit that 618. I'm looking at a monthly chart here. So again, the month just started, okay? So it's still in a weekly uptrend for the past 2 years, almost. You can see here on the trend line on the bottom side. But this is very interesting. Okay, if I want to do perfect trend line, right, I wouldn't be able to put it that high. But I like to get this. This seems more likely, right, because it would make sense. It's like, wait a second, we're getting a lot of touch points. Okay, we're getting a lot of touch points here. All right. And just breaking down below this trend line, that's a yellow flag to me. Yellow flag right there. On the top side, you can also draw an extension like this, trend line, as such. So now things are starting to make sense. The resistance 103 at Activision Blizzard. There is a resistance here, 83.35. We're just fell below that. Okay, so then the next major support level would probably be somewhere like 70.65 or 61.94. Or we could just play Fibonacci levels, right? Here, I'll mark it 80, 64.33, 51.72, 37.59. I mean, if Activision Blizzard crashes down to the old 618, I'm buying for sure. I'm buying. Okay, because the lawsuit, I believe, presuming that things get fixed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, if there's ever a huge discount pullback in Activision Blizzard, I'm probably gonna buy this because Activision Blizzard makes some of the biggest games that people play: Call of Duty, Warzone, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, Cold War. What else is there? Overwatch 2 is coming out. Diablo 2 Resurrected, Diablo 4 from Blizzard, StarCraft, all those games, right? Just legendary games. So, this is just temporary drama that I feel like in a year or two, well, after the lawsuit's done and complete, and, we have some personnel changes and HR and company policy changes, like a 180 turnaround, right? This company might survive. But for now, if we lose this and it might retest, right? Down and retest this. But if we start downtrending, I'm looking to buy deep value discount on ATVI. All right, so they have their earnings tomorrow after market, so after 1 p.m. Market close, or 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be very interesting to see. All right, but if something great happens, then the bull target would be up here or up here. I'm going to leave these levels. All right, but I would be interesting to buy ATVI somewhere down here. Right, then you get some headroom. Right, that would be the first place I buy. So I'm going to leave that there. All right, ATVI. Let's see, what's another interesting company that people might know? Well, related to games, there's Corsair, right? Corsair Gaming. And again, this is a weekly Fibonacci. Corsair Gaming releasing their earnings tomorrow, August 3rd, 2021, before market open. So this is going to be a pre-market release. Very interesting, though, that I'm looking at the weekly here. It is finding support on its 618. Right? Very interesting. The earnings tomorrow. And there is the support here, so I'm just going to mark it 28.48. Okay, right below there. So then the immediate resistance would be $33. The longer term support would be 22.42. So it's in a plus or minus like 15% range, basically. Very interesting. If Corsair, so this is my theory that I'm not trying to predict anything, but let's say if Corsair has good sales with their RAM, their products, and their keyboard and mouse peripherals, right? We could get a rally. Like gamers, they know what Corsair is. Like PC enthusiast gamers, they know what Corsair is. Even I know what Corsair is. I bought some Corsair parts before. So let's see, pretend hypothetically for education, if we went long here. Right? I have to do like a 7% stop loss, try to get you 2 to 1. Right? Try to get your 2 to 1. Okay? This is a potential if they have good earnings. Okay, so I personally, again, I do not trade earnings. I do not day trade. I do not do IPOs. I do swing trading and long-term investing. So I am not going to trade the earnings released for Corsair like 1 minute after it happens. I don't do that because the bots and algorithms usually beat most people. What I'm trying to see is, for Corsair, the company, is will they have good earning report tomorrow? Okay, the financials and the news. Okay. But the real thing I'm concerned about is, okay, if we're finding a support level at the 618 here in Corsair Gaming stock, is it going to bounce and start rallying? If it starts rallying, I might personally buy it. This is not financial advice, just education, right? Because this is a 15% upside opportunity, right? But there's also negative 15%. So that's the point with earnings, is once it has good earnings, and presuming the entire stock market doesn't crash at the same time, right? Corsair might lift. Possible, right? On a weekly, this is still bad though, because it's in a downtrend right now, right? See that? It's downtrending. Lower low, lower high, lower low. It just depends on where are we going to stop in the lower low and then bounce eventually, because it needs to go low, high, like that. Because who knows? If the company has bad earnings, boom, it's going to go down, right? So this is not, it's not the greatest trade because we don't know what's happening yet. So just gonna be interesting to see tomorrow. Again, so if you're watching this, thank you so much for watching and following. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Just did stock indexes. Now we're doing some earnings that's coming out in the next couple days. Just focusing on tomorrow. Then I'm gonna end with crypto. So just do a little bit more here. If you like this content and you want to request something, go ahead and ask in the chat or give me a follow, and we'll support this community we're trying to build here of evidence-based technical analysis, trading and investing, not FOMO, not chat room hype, real facts. We're talking the real facts here, all right? Okay, so we just finished Corsair. Let's move on. The major company that people are watching tomorrow is probably Alibaba, right? So Alibaba, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Fibonacci this monthly, okay? You start here, boom, get some Fibonacci support and resistance. Then we know Alibaba in a monthly uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. If there's super good earnings, right, I would over it, but we're looking at like 4 years, right? There could be a higher high in store. Well, right now is, remember all this Jack Ma news, right? He disappeared. That's what this is, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt will definitely cause a downtrend, but it's at a 50% retrace relative to the all-time high in October 2020. Okay, this is all-time high for Alibaba company, $319.32. Right, it's at a 50% retrace with a hammer on the weekly. That's very suspicious to me. Right, they got the earnings released tomorrow, before market, so it's a pre-market, right? So it would be interesting if someone just bought here, right? Just because of the 50%, somebody's putting risk on the market, right? There's a 15 to 33% investment opportunity if the company does really, really well, right? So this would be, this is a fine 2-to-1 trade. Trying to make 40%, risk 7% on a partial amount of someone's potential capital, right? This is it. This is it. That's how somebody does it. Because bots bought this because it was oversold on shorter term time frames, like the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15. Okay, there is bullish MACD divergence on Alibaba. It's just a matter of, is there gonna be good earnings? Yes or no? Because weekly, as an investor, it's been building. It's been building. You see this? You get some momentum building. So a reversal for Alibaba is gonna happen someday. It's just a matter of what's gonna be the catalyst. Is it the earnings? If not, we might do short-term rally. 618 would be a really nice spot to buy. This would be a very nice spot to buy. 152, 187. Okay? And then our targets would be here and here. All right, but again, we have to really know this company because, again, it's not an American company, so we have to watch out for that. It's just very famous global company. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to switch. Okay, so again, these are not all the earnings that's even going to happen this week. It's just companies that I think, some people my age might know, So let's go to let's pick Clorox. And why am I picking Clorox? Okay. Because on my list here, I have Alibaba, Activision Blizzard, Marriott Hotels, Match Group, Clorox, Under Armour, Blue Apron, Big Five Sporting Goods, Denny's Restaurant, Avid Technology, and Corsair Gaming. So that's 11 if I'm looking at tomorrow. But right now, I'm just going to do a couple. All right. Why am I picking Clorox? Because COVID-19 Delta variant. I know people are buying masks probably, and they're probably a little uptick in sales and hand sanitizer and wipes and, you know, bleach and stuff. Even I bought some Clorox bleach, right? So like one bottle, all right? So that's why. Even if I'm buying it, that means other people are buying it too, probably, right? Because I usually never buy that stuff. So Clorox bleach, obviously in the greatest, you know, one of the great investments in the history of stocks, legendary company. So let's just Fibonacci from, excuse me. Let's Fibonacci from here, okay? Why am I doing from here is this is right before the pandemic. So this is that relative low, weekly low right before the pandemic. And we're hitting that 618 level. Bounce off to 50%, right? Now we're just bouncing around here. But Clorox has been in a downtrend, maybe possibly because the demand for sanitization products has gone down over time, right? As people got vaccines and stuff. But, you know, now we're hearing people on the news like regretting not getting their vaccine, you know? So it's kind of sad. Right? Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. So again, earnings tomorrow before market, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see, will we break basically this trend line? And we can also draw this one, and this like downward sloping broadening wedge, right? And then we have the horizontal support and resistances like that. Okay, I'll just draw these to you first so it's less confusing. So there's probably one more tighter trend line in here. Yeah, this makes more sense. Just like that. Raise this one up a little bit. The magnet's too strong. Something like that, okay? But we'll just erase it for now. So are we seeing any patterns? There was a little bit of bottoming out here. Let's check the oscillators. Yep, that's why we got that pop up. So again, it would be interesting to see if Clorox makes an upside down head and shoulders. This would be interesting to see, right? Either upside down head and shoulders or a higher high, higher low reversal. So bull case, if Clorox has good earnings, right? It's a conservative amount, but 5%. So then I would only risk like 2% on this, the bottom of this candle, right? 2% to make like 5%. So this is obviously, you know, not your meme stock play, but you know, this is your safe play, right? If you're just trying to invest to get a couple percent out of this, right? Or if you think, excuse me, or if you think that momentum's picking up for Clorox in terms for sanitization, then I could see this, you know, rallying eventually to 5 to 10%, right? So if the target eventually is here, then I would do this, right? It's not the greatest spot to buy, but it'd have to be something like this, like 6% to the downside, because it does kind of look like that a head and shoulders could be possible on Clorox, like that. See, and then this would be the neckline. If we measure that, it might be, yeah, exactly 10% from the breakout. So for the breakout would be here, 10% would be exactly our target. So that's very interesting potential, right? I'm just going to leave that there for example. Okay, so I think I did enough stocks today. There's no one really in the chat, so I'm going to switch over to Bitcoin. We're going to switch over to Bitcoin and crypto, okay, everybody? Let's go. I'll go maybe about 20-30 minutes on this, and then we're done for today. I'm trying to do shorter shows. Let's do crypto. Let's get Bitcoin. Okie dokie. All right, so we're looking at Bitcoin US dollar. I'm just using the Binance USA chart right now. You can use any chart you want. Like we could use the Bitstamp chart because it's old, right? And what I like to do is Fibonacci from the coronavirus low, the March 14 low, which hit $3,844, and then the coronavirus high, temporary high, April 14, 2021. I play off these two levels. Why? Then you get some Fibonacci, like your automatic calculated support and resistance levels. Okay? So again, there was bullish divergence building, and we're saved from this mega scary head and shoulders, okay, which didn't play out. All right? Yet. All right? So bear case, again, absolute worst bear case for Bitcoin is falling back down. If this was true, would have taken us back down to $4,000 Bitcoin. But, you know, there's still hype, and the miners want to save it, so there's miner support at $30,000 here. Okay, you see a lot of buying action right here. See that? So basically $30,000 right here is the support level. Some hedge fund went long right there. You could just tell. All right, so we rallied to the 50% and kept rallying to the 382. Beautiful rally. I mean, 40%? Are you kidding me? From top to bottom, so the half of that is 20%. Very, very powerful move. To me, that's a short squeeze. Plus, you know, Wall Street bets hype, right? But now we rejected. We had a hanging man candle a little bit, and half a shooting star candle right here at 41,700. All right, so that's our temporary resistance up here. Okay, so we're playing off these two levels. If you kind of think about it, we've been stuck in this channel between 30,000 and 40,000. So I'm going to mark 35,000 as the median midpoint. All right, so now we have to use a little bit more tools because Bitcoin is very technical analysis friendly. Look at volume. Interesting. Yeah, so we do have a short-term EMA cross-up on the daily. Now, what's happening is we broke out. We're retesting the 200 EMA support, $3,853. Right there. Okay, so it's still death cross, right? But, you know, if this keeps rallying for the next 2-3 months, then it's going to golden cross eventually again. Possible. Right, look at pivots, got rejected from resistance 1 pivot, and the first pivot point is $3,532. 37K, 37.5K. Right? So if we keep rallying, right, if this is going to turn into an uptrend, then the obvious mini Fibonacci would be like here. If it bounces, if it falls back down to 36 or 35K, right, this could happen. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then eventually, maybe 6 months from now, maybe we'll retest 50,000. Possible. That's a bull case scenario, okay? If it goes up. If it goes down, then longer term, higher high, maybe we're just establishing a weekly higher low, right? And then falling back down to 25,000. All right, so basically, we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on the 4-hour and 1-hour intraday momentum to see right here. See, this is that move right here on the 4 hours chart intraday. Let me turn off everything so you can just see the EMA. So again, from July 21, when this crossed up, somebody bought, some millionaire hedge fund bought this, and we went 30%. All right. Now, yes, the RSI was high, but we had MACD trending up. All right. But now in the 4-hour, we're having a little bit of pullback on down cross, right? And then we got to zoom in a little bit more, the 1 hours. Okay, I saw this last night, but I knew because we're down cross, maybe don't buy it yet, right? Only buy up crosses, right? To be safe, right? So we don't even need the oscillators at this point. Yes, there is a little bit of bullish divergence. There is bullish divergence building on the 1 hour, so it might pop up over the next day or so. So we're looking at a very, very intraday setup on Bitcoin. Let's pretend if we bought here, might be like a 3%. Yeah, so this would be an interesting, this is one potential swing trade, 3% to the upside. But, intraday, yes, it is looking like a little bit of momentum building. just on that hourly, right? The hourly oversold. But on bigger picture, like 4 hour and the day, it looks like it wants to pull back. So basically what that means is there might be a short-term bounce at some point in the next day or two, and then it might fall down again. So it would make sense that the 1 hour, for example, would bounce up, right? And this would bounce up and then eventually come down like that, okay? So just want to watch out for that. For me, I focus more on longer term, okay? So I'm looking to see more of this RSI reset here and the MACD reset and this retest one of these levels in this yellow box zone right here. All right, so like the upper 36,000s on Bitcoin, looking to test that. Okay, retest. Because again, if we short-term Fibonacci this, the 50% is 36,577 right here, right in the middle of this yellow box, right? So what I'm gonna do is, so again, you see that 1 hour, that's just a quick trade, okay? So again, if we erase everything, just use EMA support, which works a lot of the time. All right, so we could, yeah, this is a double support. It's the 200 EMA and the 12 EMA right here, right? Short term and long term right here. So this could turn into a support level. So if one were to go long here, as an investor, is like, all right, try to risk, you know, a couple percent, maybe 3%. Try to get the top of there to make a 9% potential gain. Right, 3-to-1 trade. Okay, that's a bull case. Excuse the background noise. That's a bull case, right? But if it's a bear case, then the bull case target is up here. Bear case target would be the 50%, 6.8, like somewhere around here at 35. All right, so these are the 3 levels I'm watching on Bitcoin. All right, next, Ethereum. Ethereum, US dollar. All right, so before we go this, again, let's look at Fibonacci levels from the pandemic low, which is right here, the pandemic high. Look at this, multiple support levels at the 618 for Ethereum, also a double bottom on the daily here and here. All right, here and here, the double bottom at where? 1700. That's 1700. All right, and then a rally to break through the 50%. Beautiful rally, 50%. 50%. All right, so we can measure this move, the W. So right here, when you get a double bottom on the daily, I would trust it, right? Okay, so 36% from the breakout. It wants to go to here. It wants to go to 3,000. That's what Ethereum wants to do. But again, Bitcoin is the big boss, the big king of crypto. So whatever Bitcoin does is what these altcoins are going to do for the most part. But Ethereum rallied first, I believe. Ethereum's been kind of rallying on its own these days. But yeah, those are the 2 levels we're playing off of, okay? So the first immediate resistance is this 382 Fibonacci resistance, 2743. We have to break this and break this. There's only 3 levels I'm watching, all right? 2223, 2764, 3151. Okay, let's look intraday because there's no supercell signal on the daily RSI, so we can keep going here. Yeah, 4 hour, there's a little bit of 4 hour bearish divergence and double top, so we might pull back long term. Okay, we're already starting to lose momentum on the hourly. And 15 minutes is pretty choppy. Yeah, so I could see it pulling back down to this pivot, -5%, just for the bulls to rest. Because we are losing this momentum. The 4 hour, yeah, we just had that bearish divergence, so I can really see a pullback, -4, maybe even -10% if selling pressure gets really hot. But long term though, okay, if we're like talking about long term investing, again, weekly, MACD is building, okay? So it's just a matter of where we're going to end up long term. But so bull target is up here, 31.35. Bear target would be 2254. So it's going to remains to be seen if this W and Bitcoin continue to rally or not. But for me, it's like there's more risk trying to long here. Do you know what I mean? Compared to longing at the bottom of the double bottom. Because when you long down here, right, your 10% stop, your 6% stop loss is not needed anymore. You're up 7-1 right now. Beautiful, right? But if you long here, then you have all this downside, -20. You have -30% to the downside risk, or -50% to the risk. So if you're gonna long now, just use a very small amount of money. Is what I recommend. All right, next. Oh, it's been a while since I looked. So we got BNB and Cardano. All right, let's look at BNB. I want to get the correct rankings. Let's use BNB USDT on the Binance chart. All right, so again, let's look at the coronavirus rally. Gotta look on a log scale right here. So then Fibonacci. Okay, now we can rewind back. Binance had an absolute monster run. I remember when Binance was like $5. Absolute monster run with 50x. My goodness, that's the dream right there. Right, too bad I didn't buy $5, right? All right, so daily, again, but that's the thing with FOMO, is it's okay. It's okay, right? If you didn't get it at $5, and you missed this at 300 or whatever at 600, it's like, well, look what happened. It retraced down to 250, right? You got a negative 60% of discount on Binance Coin in the past 3 months. Somebody bought it down here, oversold conditions, right? Also, there is a bear flag, basically a gigantic bear flag, like this. Huge. Or descending triangle, to be exact. Right, to be exact, descending triangle, but to be exact. So we just broke out of that on Binance Coin. Now, what often happens with the breakout like this is the breakout, the retest, and then a continued bull rally, if that's true. Because if we look very closely, higher high, just a higher low. Higher high, where's it going to be? Probably stopping here at 350, and then higher low right in that midpoint at like 300. Right, so it's going to be very interesting. But it hit the 618 3 times. 618 3 times. Alrighty. So Binance Coin, just remember, Binance Coin used to be $5. Okay, now it's $331. Right, this was terrible right here. So those are the 3 levels I'm playing off right now. Immediate resistance 353, support, longer term support 262, the midpoint support $300. Right, so what remains to be seen is, are we going to pull back down, retest this, and rally? Or if something bad happens in the industry, the retest fails, and this downward pattern essentially continues. It might just elongate out. Okay? Let's see. Next one. We'll do a couple here. We'll do Cardano. I'm going to skip XRP. We'll do Cardano and Doge. Alright, Cardano. I use Coinbase for this one. Cardano, no, actually, there's not enough information. Use Bitfinex. Old school chart. All right, Cardano, US dollar. All right, so at least we get some pandemic information. No. Here's Bittrex. Yeah, there we go. So we get old school information. Okay, so I want to get this pandemic low. I'm not going to count this super wick because that was probably some shorting bot manipulation. There we go. I'll take the log scale off. Again, because of Bitcoin, there was that scare of, like, you know, head and shoulders action, which could happen, right? But that's if the industry, something bad has to happen for us to break that neckline support down and continue down. um, for a super bear break to the downside, right? But there's still support here. Okay, basically I did 618, which is basically was $1 essentially. Okay, and there is the trend line up here. This was broken as such. Right, so again, this kind of like downward sloping descending triangle action. So it wasn't a downtrend, but the crypto market is trying to revive itself. The hype. Because crypto, after a huge rally or a crash, people get wrecked. And then everyone forgets about it, moves on, and then when it starts rallying again, it happens again. Right? So the descending triangle breakout pattern, to be exact, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You want to watch out. Is it just a lower high and we're going to come back down to 96 cents? Okay, that's the that's the bear scenario, right? That's negative 25% to downside. That's bear market correction territory if something bad happens, right? So the blue line would be the bear target. But if this turns out to be a double bottom, okay, and we have a huge rally, if it's huge, then we could be testing $1.77 on the top side eventually someday. Right? So we had that low RSI bounce. Okay. There's a little bit of, again, bearish divergence on the 4 hour. So swing trading is a little bit tricky right now. Right? You're not getting maximum value right now at this point in time when I'm making this video. And 1 hour, it's chop. 4 hour, it's still uptrending, but you know that this bearish divergence, like right here, on these two last legs, could pull us back down, right? Yeah, so it's not the greatest spot to buy Cardano right now as a trader, right? You want to look for. It looks like it's trying to establish a higher low. That's what it looks like it's trying to do right now. Just trying to find support. Just trying to stay alive right here. Okay, it has to break through all these moving averages and then find support. So it's just trying to stay alive, Cardano. All right. Last one. Let's do Doge. Let me find one that has a long history. Yeah, this one's actually decent. Dogecoin. We're using the Bittrex chart because I want to see the pandemic crash as well in the analysis, which is right here. Yes, look how cheap Doge was before the meme stock revival. Absolutely bonkers, right? That's what fascinates me about stock charts and crypto charts is seeing the global FOMO and hype on the charts. Like when you see parabolic moves, like that's what traders dream of, right? Parabolic moves. All right, so we have these levels. The thing with Dogecoin, though, which kind of concerned me was, right, Dogecoin had its incredible rally, right? Somebody got this, right? Incredible. But it has been downtrending on the day charts, okay? To be fair, all right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Try to establish a lower high. That could be what's happening. Just double bottomed here at 16 cents. Okay, double bottom at 16 cents. And it's trying to establish the lower high. So the level I'm looking for the lower high, it could stop right at 25 cents. That'd be psychological, and then 15 cents. All right, so it's stuck between those two levels. Very simple. Now, what needs to happen for Dogecoin to get people excited again is the breakout. Okay. You have a downward wedge pattern. It should break out. It's just the strength of the breakout is the concerning question, because I have to think, to be honest, like Dogecoin, you know, because of what Elon Musk and some other people did in terms of like hyping it up or pumping it down, trying to save it, just kind of lost interest, right? I see more people getting on the internet kind of interested in stocks more than crypto right now. The hardcore traders, we've all made money right now on Bitcoin, right? But like the casual people, investors, is like people are not so hyped on Doge anymore. They're all hyped about like GameStop and AMC and stuff like that, right? Which I should look at GameStop, AMC once on this stream. But again, the question is, where is this going to bounce? Right? You just want to watch out for it. Watch out. All right, the RSI, yeah, it's still open, okay, so it could still rally, but remember, Dogecoin is an altcoin. It doesn't exist in its own universe. If Bitcoin crashes, Dogecoin will crash. It just, we saw what happened in the past 3 months. It's obvious, right? So, yeah, 4-hour head and shoulders on the RSI. Short-term EMA is in a downtrend. But it's just finding support on the 100 EMA as such here at 20 cents, okay? So it's just trying to find a support level. Although, you know, the MACD has been building. So it could be a reversal spot. This could be a reversal spot, a pivot point for Dogecoin. But as such, it's just trying to break up and just survive along the EMAs here. That's what it's trying to do. So again, if it's a reversal, okay, on Dogecoin, if it's a reversal, then it needs to rally up like almost 20 to 25 more percent. So it's going to be a very interesting trade. So if the target, because it looks like possible, right, double bottom here, right, like that, or it could be upside down in your shoulders. So if you're going to go long, if I was going to go long, I'd be a little careful on Doge, okay? I'm not going all in on Doge, not yet, right? Not now. Because it's essentially a 20% to the downside risk, so you have to hold until you potentially make your 40%, which is not impossible, but you know there's significant risk, so I would use a very small amount of capital for that. All right, let me see if there's anything else I need to go over. That's probably it. I think I'll end with two meme stocks, GME and AMC, two big boys. All right, so GME and AMC. So we're on GameStop, GME. All right, so what I'm going to do is Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. All righty. Then we go in. So it's been downtrending for the past month or so. People taking their profit. So again, it looks like it's part of a large, much larger long-term equilibrium pattern. See that? Now the target, the downside is like 140, 138, okay? Because of here, and it's been downtrending, just losing hype from meme stocks. All right. So unless you got in super early down here at like $35, this is, you know, trying to long right now is not the greatest spot, but it's in the zone. Earnings coming up end of August. All right, so that's probably what it's probably just going to fade into earnings, and then we need a massive earnings positive break report, okay, for this to go crazy, right? We need this massive right here, okay? So this is where I'm going to be looking right here, somewhere in this level, maybe to buy, right? Because you never know. If it rallies up to the top again, that's like 100%. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll put a little bit of risk on this, like a 10% to the downside, right? If it makes it there. Because from all-time low to high on pandemic is we lost the 618, so the 786 would be, so somewhere in the $120 range average is where I might long GME, right? Because there is this reversal building, it's building, all right? Yeah. It might even pop as early as this week, okay? Because the RSI is pretty low. 1 hour low. So yeah, there's a potential trade opportunity, but we know hedge funds like to short this thing down because bears have had control for about 2 months now. So again, there might be a little short bounce. Not such a massive short squeeze as the first time, but you know, Possible. Right, so that's where I would watch these two levels. All right, and then AMC, last one for today. Thank you so much for watching. AMC. All right, so what I like to do again is get the Fibonacci levels up. So we had our pandemic low here, which turned out to be a fantastic level of support. Horizontally, you see that. And what I like to point out to people is there were clues. There were clues of AMC. You see this? There's the double bottom here, right? If you're watching this part, you're finding out one of the secrets right now to technical analysis. When you see a multiple support, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touch point down here, that means somebody is buying it, because what ended up happening right here is a Chinese millionaire bought so many, I think he spent like, I don't know how many millions of dollars to buy the shares of AMC. Hedge funds were probably doing the same thing too, right? So they saved the stock. The composite operator is saying they're going to buy this right now. And the composite operator probably is starting to sell here and sell here. Okay? But zooming in to where we are right now, there is significant resistance on AMC at the upper $60 level, $60 to $65. Okay? Now it has been downtrending. It was in this triangle, right? I'll draw it for you. I was watching this carefully. It was in this large flag, like that. Okay? And instead of breaking to the upside, it broke down. Why? Because it was a little bit oversold and it's starting to lose momentum on the intraday charts. The intraday tools. See that? Once you get that 4-hour down cross on EMAs, then kind of screwed. And then there's a 4-hour double bottom, 1-hour double bottom. And the price here, hard to see. Another double bottom. This is like a baby double bottom right here. Right? And then rallied up. How much percent? 30%. Didn't quite make it. 25%, it's close enough. So, right? And then it's kind of chopping around right now because of earnings. Alrighty? So on the day, it's still in the short-term downtrend, trying to survive. Okay, heading into earnings. Supposedly in 2 days from now. Okay, I don't know why that's not on my list. Let me write this down. That's on Wednesday, supposedly. So AMC. We're gonna watch this very closely. I'm gonna save that. All right, but again, if we're looking at just this last leg, this last rally. Hold on, I gotta hide this old one. Okay, yeah, it's lost is 50%, so 618 or 786 is probably the buy spot for this. Right, lower low, lower high, lower low, probably right to 25. So it looks like $25. That's a psychological $20 to 25 is probably going to be the buy zone for AMC before it pops back up. So probably I would put my buy order if I was trading this like right at 25. Right, just preemptively get it in there, and then you got to risk your 25%. So I would not put a lot of money on this personally. It's just a little bit, right? After the earnings, okay? Not before, but after the earnings. All right? Okay, so I'm going to do something usually I don't do. I'm going to check the, we're going to end soon. We're going to look at some day trading, like what went crazy in the market today and why. All right? Let's look at a couple of these. EVK, what happened with this company? Okay, so it has share buyback program. So this is an example of on day charts, right? Yes, there was upside down head and shoulders, so there was a setup already on EVK on the day. Where? I'm talking about this. right there. If we measure it, 67 with 67. So it could be the bots, algos, or experienced traders, right? Found this stock, Everglory. Okay, and it popped up. Will we see continuation? Maybe after a pullback down. Okay, so it might, right? I have to even zoom in at 5 minutes and 1 minute, which I don't really like doing, but possible, right? We just need to see tomorrow's pre-market, post-market. Okay, what's it gonna do? Okay, what else happened? But right here, you could at least get your support and resistance level set up, right? Okay, so now it just remains to be seen. The 1 hour, is this going to continue? Is flagging right now, essentially, right? Are we going to get continuation tomorrow? Maybe. Okay, maybe. So EVK, day traders watching that very closely, obviously. Okay, next. Let's look at Exila, which used to be, on the meme stock list. So I remember trading this. Again, so it did have its bottom here. All right, fell down to the 786, which is what I'm saying. If we lose 618, 786 support is its next support level. Okay, and still technically up crossing, right? Still in the golden cross. So it's possible Exila might rebound right here. Let's check the. Yeah, there's a 4-hour upside down here and shoulders on Exila. It's very interesting. 23%. Okay, measure this. 20% from the breakout would bring us to 338. Right, so this could be a potential risky, but possible. Could happen in one day on Exila, right? Just gotta put a, maybe like a 5% stop loss or something like that, or 10%, depending on how much money you put in there. And then this is more like a OTC, OCO order. Okay, one cancels the other, meaning that you set your target here. Right, this is an example of like a day trade. If I would OCO, I would put my buy order, tomorrow or whatever here, and then put my profit target here and my stop loss here, and then let the trade go and just walk away and just check it like once a day, make sure. Right, so Exila, very interesting. All right, so went a little bit over time today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and like the content, feel free to ask me a question in the chat or the comments. I'm on Twitch and YouTube. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just education only. Okay, so we can learn and study technical analysis on stocks and crypto. If you like this content, you want to support me in some way, go ahead and follow my Twitch channel or my YouTube channel. Leave a comment or a like. Eventually, I'm going to open donations for stock requests. As the community starts growing, I just want to build a community of positive, factual, evidence-based stock chart analysis and crypto chart analysis. Okay, so it's like less FOMO, less hype, less just people dropping emojis, right, and just like talking nonsense. We're talking about real chart setups that make money in the market greater than 50% of the time. Right, that's what we're trying to do here. All right, so thank you so much. Hope you have a good day. We still got earnings for the next 2 weeks, major earnings. So we got to keep our eyes open and stay on our toes, our wits about us, and get ready for the market to move a little bit. All right, so thank you so much. Hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.